Don't tread on us.
Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice.
The Zanna way.
Don't trade on us, the Freedom Rifle by Zanna. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration, chambered in 223 Wild that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499, made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Trade on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD Don't Trade on Us, free ebook How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30 rounds magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port Don't Trade on Us for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now.
Here we go, guys and girls. You're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States.fm network. Second hour, it's all about guns. I am going through my journey, the journey to learn, because I said it's beautiful. It's an experience. It's something that it never ends. And I had the opportunity a few months ago to find this Firearm Institute in Las Vegas that they are specialized, especially with the NRA certification. And I started my journey, something that normally I thought, I don't really want to do that. I have so many things I'm doing already, but you know what? I like it because it gives me more discipline when I start to talk about topics, especially when it comes down to, even now, of course, I teach CCW classes in Arizona. I'm pretty excited. I love already the experience, but it's also personally, it's for me, for my knowledge. It is not even because I need to do something. Technically, I don't need to do anything. I can stay home, I'm fine. But I like to do this because it's something that really enriches me to find and learn new things. Now, also, when I go to these places, I always meet new people. And I'm always interested when I see, especially ladies, normally mostly are guys, involved into this. Why? I always told you. First of all, the idea that the gun issue or the gun matter is about guys, it's wrong. I think the gun is a great equalizer. So it's very important that women out there understand that this is the opportunity to really be equal. You want to somehow, you don't want to do anything, but let's say somebody's tried to use deadly force against you or try to rape you, and is a guy, it normally can be double your size. Guess what? Now you have some really equal rights, okay? When you own a gun, especially when you know how to use it. And then, of course, I like the idea that women are getting involved because it's a beautiful family issue. It's a family matter, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend and girlfriend, I don't care. But the point is the idea you go together, you enjoy this beautiful right. For me, this is not a hobby, it's a right, but also can be fun. And at the same time, what happens? When the woman gets involved, the husband is happier. Because, say, I want to buy that gun. And, oh, yeah, buy one for me too. Great. So there are no conflicts. And also more important is, we need to share this heritage, these rights, and this knowledge to the next generation. Normally it's the dad. That's true. The father. But guess what? The mother is really important too. What if the mother does not understand what's going on? And when father wants to go to the range, say, no, it's dangerous. No, do that. No, she understands, and she may also be helping. That's great. So anyway, let me cut short. Otherwise, we fall asleep here. I met this very incredible lady, which is really into this gun culture. And she was there doing the same class I was attending. Exactly the class is a chief RSO, Range Safety Officer, certified by the NRA. So it's an interesting class. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Anyway, her name is Machine Gun Allie. I guess I got it right. Allie, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you, Luca.
Okay, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you again. First of all, I'm always terrible at pronouncing names. Did I say right, Allie, with my accent?
You did, yes. My name's Allison, but Allison. I go by Machine Gun Allie.
Yes. Okay. First question. I like the idea of Machine Gun Alley. I need to get a nickname myself. Luca, Glock 17. What is exactly why you have? I mean, I think I know the answer, but I don't want to guess. Why do you call yourself like that? Do you have a machine gun?
I don't own a machine gun, but I started with the name of Machine Gun Alley because it was kind of given to me because I had an interest in all kinds of machine guns and high-powered rifles and anything that really could cause a big boom. So from Allison, it went to Machine Gun Alley.
Interesting.
So it was kind of given to me.
Very good. And the question is, we met briefly at the class. We were doing a class that wasn't no shooting involved. It was about the chief range safety officer. But I know that you do a lot of activities. At least I went to your Facebook page, and I know you also have a website. Correct me if I'm wrong. And give all the information where people can also take a look at what you do, please. Like a website.
Sure. So my husband and I actually own a company called Campbell Defense Academy. And with that academy, we actually teach all kinds of NRA certified pistol programs, rifle programs. We're going to be teaching CCW classes. And in addition, I actually teach long-distance rifle shooting for people that are looking to do some precision shooting. And I also teach a program called ACT. It's an Armed Civilian Tactics course. It's basically a combination of self-defense and people who want to carry a firearm or are thinking about carrying a firearm. Because unfortunately, in this day and age, 85% of people that get shot with their own firearm because they can't retain it or they don't know how. So this class actually bridges that gap between being able to defend yourself physically and being able to defend yourself with a firearm.
I like the idea, by the way. It's really important because it's true, normally, statistically, most of these violent encounters, they're all at colloquial distance, let's say 3-5 yards tops, at least 70% of them. And we know very well that the average person, even the most trained person, at that distance is not going to have the complete time to completely present the gun into a fight and shoot like you were shooting at the average, let's say 7-10 yards. It's going to be on you. The assailant is going to be probably, you can smell and you can, share the same blood probably for a moment. I mean, it's going to be very harsh and physical. So if you don't have the extra training, nobody really gives you the training. I think it's a good idea because it's a niche that normally not many other, let's say, schools cover. How did you come out with this idea? Was it just an idea, or you had some background also in martial arts or things like that?
No, actually, I was certified. I was trained and certified down in Colorado. In Denver, Colorado, there's a martial arts studio. It's called Colorado Krav Maga. And I'm a Krav Maga student. I've been studying Krav Maga for several years, along with a couple of other different martial arts. I studied Hapkido, Jiu-Jitsu. My husband's actually a Marine, retired Marine Corps officer, and he actually trained in something called the McMAT program, which is the martial arts program for the Marine Corps. And so we learned that as well. And during this program in Colorado, what happens is they decided to combine the two, firearms and Krav Maga base. And so I had to go down there for 4 days and get certified. It was a nice, tough testing period and 12-hour days of nonstop fighting and shooting. So everything that I love. And from there, I'm the only person that was certified from California to Colorado. So there's very few of us that actually can teach this course, but it's very well worth it once you're able to teach this.
Well, I like it.
And, it's a great program. And it's not just for men, it's for women as well. I actually run one of the largest women's shooting groups here in Vegas. It's called Vegas Gun Gals. And, it's 1,300 plus women. They're all local that want to get into shooting or get into shooting competitions or long-range rifle or even just self-defense because their husbands might be police officers or maybe their husbands shoot and they've never shot. And all these different things that give them that little bit of curiosity of, well, maybe I can shoot. I'm curious about it. Or maybe they're just gung-ho and they're like, you know what? I can do this. Let me get into it. So we've got people that have never shot before and people that are in competition. So all women are welcome. And I've been teaching this program for a couple of months now, and a lot of women show up for this class, and they feel a lot more confident walking by themselves at nighttime in a a parking garage, or let's say that they're a single mom at home. They feel a little bit more confident being at home by themselves with their kids. So it's a great way to gain confidence and to have that extra little support of knowing a little bit more about your surroundings and how to handle a gun if you need to.
Let's say the name again of this group, please. And if there's a website.
It's called Vegas Gun Gals. That's the group. It's through Facebook. So you just go on Facebook and you look up Vegas Gun Gals, and you'll find our page. But we also run our page through the Campbell Defense Academy, which is trainwithcda.com.
Wow, I'm going right now on Facebook to Vegas Gun. One second, I'm kind of slow sometimes. I drank
Vegas Gun Gals.
Yeah, I drank some wine. I'm sorry. Okay, I shouldn't do it on the air, but guess what? I can do it because I'm not maneuvering anything, so I'm fine. FCC, don't bust my butt.
That's right. We do live in Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas Gun Gal. Okay. And this is exciting, by the way. I mean, I like to see women involved into this, and I'm just curious. This is just for ladies only, I guess, right? Am I right or wrong? I mean, a guy cannot show up there with a wig.
No.
Okay.
Vegas Gun Gals, the reason why Vegas Gun Gals is actually so incredibly popular is because I actually interact and meet every single candidate that wants to become a member. A lot of these groups, nothing against them, they're great groups, but a lot of groups might have hostile ex-boyfriends or ex-husbands or jealous boyfriends or girlfriends of the ex-boyfriends that are trying to spy on these girls. So they want somewhere that's actually private and somewhere that they can, learn about this stuff without anybody finding out that they're learning about it. And
Great idea.
I vet every single person, and everybody that's in there is in there for a reason. So it's a very protected group, and we make sure that there's no chance for any kind of
I like it. I like it a lot. This is
call
great.
Intrusion.
No, it's good. It's right. Like, for example, when I teach CCW classes, the last thing I want is to advertise or share on Facebook who are these people, because maybe they have some issue, they want to keep it private. Some of them, they're single ladies, and they don't want to know, for example, to the disgruntled ex-husband or whatever psycho is maybe, stalking them, that they have a gun, they may even know how to use it. So let's keep this, I think is great. And on top, another thing, I don't want to say all the guys are pigs, but, I know that the guys,
no, not at all.
They're excited. Sometimes they go out there and you're surrounded by all these ladies, and you see the guns, and they may get excited first with the guns and then with the ladies, and that's not right. You gotta be there focusing. No, seriously, I can see, because I'm a guy, and I want to go shoot. I want to focus. I don't want to get distracted, and I'm kind of,
And even with the Vegas Gun Gals group, we have a lot of meetups that are just for the girls, but once a month we do a Vegas Gun Gals date night. Mm-hmm. So let's say that these girls do have, a happily married husband that, he wants to be involved with the shooting as well. Once a month we do have the husbands and the boyfriends come out, and they can shoot with their girlfriends or wives,
Okay.
We have events where it's family events, so if you have children over a certain age, they can come out and shoot with the husband and the wife too. So it's not that we're trying to avoid men, but we want to make sure that this is a women-focused group so that they have somewhere to go, and then we can welcome the guys in as they need to. With the ACT program, we have both men and women in the class, and we have a women's only class. So some women, they've had traumatic experiences, whether they're domestic violence victims or rape victims. So we have a women's only version for them.
I understand.
Because they have some post-traumatic stress going on, so we don't want men involved. And then we have a couples program where it's men and women involved, and so that way they can practice with their significant other.
I think it's great. But also, people can date after, okay? But when you do the training, you focus on that. And I tell you, even from a point, when I go to the range, sometimes there are, for example, out of the blue, sometimes show up some ladies next to me, okay? And as much, I like to be, I go there for an hour or 2 hours, and I don't want to chat. I don't want to start to have any conversation about the weather or what type of, other excuse to talk. I want to go there and train. And it's human. I'm not saying that is wrong, but it's human. Sometimes, you find somebody from the opposite sex and you try to be friendly. And sometimes that's the wrong place. The range is place to train hard and focus, and also you don't want to get distracted. I tell you, I'm very conscious about safety.
That's true.
I want to start to look around all these ladies. No, it would be very disaster. Now, do you have like a place, like you go to a specific range without giving too much information, or you have like a studio where you train? What is exactly your location? In case people want to.
Well, with the ACT program, we actually train in Boca Park in Summerlin. We train at a martial arts studio so that it's completely safe. We actually have it's completely padded from floor to floor. We actually partnered with the Victory Martial Arts family, and they've graciously let us use their facility to make sure that everything's safe and it's a secure place. We lock the doors, and nobody else can come in when we're training, so that it's a very safe and secure place to train. When we're doing our shooting events, it depends on the event. Sometimes we go out to the desert and we do a lot of desert shoots. That way we have a little bit more freedom of what we're able to do. And then other times we go to different local gun ranges, whether it's Discount Firearms or American Shooters or 702, and we put together an event. We'll post it up on Facebook if it's going to be just for girls or if it's going to be anybody's welcome, and we make sure that everybody knows where the location's going to be. We try to make sure that we patronize every single place, local to Vegas, whether it's way out at Clark County or even Boulder Gun Club, So everybody gets a little bit of Vegas Gun Gals.
Lisa, you know what is funny? Because the show is a 3-hour show. The final hour we talk about love, okay? So it's funny. We go from first hour to police state and martial law and whatever that's happening to this. The second hour we go guns, and then final hour we go, for example, datings. We have a group called freedomlovers.us, the like-minded people. We have a free website where you can join like-minded people. And now I see, Vegas Gun Gals date night. I think this is great. And I was going to also share that on the website. And I have a question. For example, do you do like a night event for singles? Let's say single ladies maybe want to meet single guys. I don't know. Just an idea.
We do. We actually do a Vegas Gun Gals date night, drinks and mingling. So basically it's for single ladies that are looking to maybe meet another guy that's like-minded into firearms and self-defense and stuff. So I actually partner with a lot of the different self-defense and firearm groups that are on Facebook that have men involved, and we post a date night for singles. And we go out to a gun range, we specify the gun range, and we shoot, and they get to meet each other and do some shooting activities, different competition stuff. And then from there, we actually all go out to a restaurant that's been pre-reserved. We get the entire patio area. It's all been set up for dating, like a date-style table. And they get to meet and mingle with all the different gentlemen and different ladies, and they get to talk and stuff and have a wonderful lobster dinner.
Wow.
And there's a couple of different drawings and different prizes and stuff that we give away.
And I like your targets, by the way. I'm right now. By the way, I ask you for friendship. Hopefully, you don't ignore me.
No, that's fine.
I'm just playing. Anyway, and I see you got a beautiful targets. I like the Vegas Gun Gals date night with a little heart at the center. Very nice.
Right.
And
thank you.
I mean, this is great. I like, this is the spirit of the show, and this is the spirit, of course, in my opinion, of enjoying freedom. Doing things that you like, and also offering a great service, and and being creative. And of course, create your own future, create things that from an idea. After all, this was an idea. I'm sure it was an idea. That's pretty much, and I like that. Coming from a young lady like you, this is beautiful. I really like it. And of course, your husband, I'm sure, is with you, supporting you in this one. Lisa, let's talk about money-wise. I like always to give. You don't have to give me all the details, but for example, one of these classes, like the ACT class, the mixed martial arts with gun, okay, for close combat. What type of, let's say, first of all, how many hours during the week or during the month, people can train? I mean, there is like a schedule.
We have a schedule. The ACT program is broken up into 4 levels. There's levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. Level 1 is actually 6 hours. That's going to be inside the martial arts studio of nothing but classroom time and self-defense training. And then from there, the following day, we actually go out for 4 hours and we shoot in the desert for live fire drills and live fire practice. So it's approximately a 10 to 12-hour day combined between those 2 days.
Wow.
Level 2, 3, and 4 are all approximately 7 hours. So it's just over about 35 hours total for the entire ACT program. We try to do at least one level 1 every month, and level 2 every month, and then level 3 is actually going to be getting kicked off at the end of March to the beginning of April. We'll be doing our first level 3.
And ACT, everybody can join, even guys, right? I mean, if I want to join,
yes.
Can I? Okay, great. And money-wise, how much would be, for example? Just to have an idea. So we can share this opportunity with our, we are not that far. Mohave County, this show, it's broadcast between Laughlin, Bullhead, of course, and the Mohave County area. It goes all the way down to Lake Havasu. And of course, Needles. So we know it's not that far, guys. I go there in the morning, especially now we have a difference of hour. There is beautiful highway, especially in the weekend. It's always pretty much, I don't know which day you do it, but anyway.
All those places are great for motorcycle rides too.
Yeah.
So I've been out to all of those places, so it's not that long of a drive.
Not even 2 hours.
But the program, the ACT program, the level 1 is actually $199. Level 2, 3, and 4 is $150 each program.
Okay.
Or each level. However, if you decide that you want to do all 4 levels, then I give it a significant discount since you want to book all in advance.
Wow. Okay.
And the big thing is that with the ACT program, because it's something that I really feel passionate about, and it's something that I really want, especially women and men to know and how to learn. If, let's say that you want to join the program and you have a wife or a girlfriend or a sister or a brother or somebody that you want to join the program with you, then you actually both get a discount if you take a class together.
That's a great idea. I like that. Normally, I do that during the CCW classes. I gave free class to super discount for single moms that they show up with, they don't show up with a Corvette. One time I had a single mom showing up with a brand new, or at least what it looks like a brand new, was the car? I forgot. Mustang. Okay. Say, a single mom, I think you can afford $85 for the class. But beside that, normally I do that, free. And when they come couple, they get a discount too. I like that. Anyway, great.
Because of March being March is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Anybody that, and this is men or women, anybody that can bring to me a police report or a stay out of area restriction, anything like that for 1 year, they actually get half off the program.
Wow.
And then also any law enforcement get half off the program also.
Wow, really good, really good. And when did you start to get into guns? I mean, there's always a story behind any one of us. Sometimes people went to, like your husband, he joined probably the Marines, or some other people, the passion. How did you get? I mean, your dad, who gave you that type of gun culture? I'm just curious. For a lady, it's kind of different.
Well, I never shot my very first gun I shot was when I was 18 years old. I had just turned 18, and I've always had a very large passion for guns. My father was a martial arts instructor and self-defense instructor for the Navy SEALs way back in the day, and so I already had a passion for self-defense and for fighting and martial arts and military. So I was already very inept to wanting to get into firearms. So just after my 18th birthday, I went to a gun store, a gun range out in Seattle, Washington, and I shot a 50 cal Desert Eagle marksman special pistol. So it was extremely loud. It was extremely powerful for an 18-year-old that had never shot a gun before.
Wow.
And the guy that had me shoot it, he said, the reason why I had you shoot this is so that you can shoot anything from now on. It doesn't matter what caliber, it doesn't matter what size of the gun. This is the biggest gun out there, so now you'll never have a fear for guns. And it's true. I've always gone headfirst into anything when it comes to firearms. I'm very excited about it, and I have a passion for firearms since then. So when I met my husband, him being a 7-year Marine Corps veteran, and he was high expert pistol, high expert rifle, so when we met, we both got into guns, and we started shooting, and we realized, you can meet some fun people out at the gun range. And so I made like a little Facebook page for people who I've met and who shoot with me. And then from there, it started growing to a bigger group. And so I finally made a Vegas Gun Gals page for girls that I've met that wanted to shoot. And then from there, it became Campbell Defense Academy, because, that's all you really need is a passion in something. And if you can find out that this can be something you can do for a career, then it's even better. You never have to work a day in your life.
Very good. I think this is really a beautiful story. What I like, it is, I don't know, I like women with guns in general, because I think it's empowering. It's a sense of, you want to talk about equal rights? Yes, and I like the fact that, you're also sharing this passion with other ladies out there, because I really believe, when we have more law-abiding people, regardless of the sex, gender, of course, I don't care what sex you are, but, ladies, I think it's always better, because at the end of the day, they have a double role, as I said. It's not just for themselves, it's also, they're going to be pretty much the DNA of the family. They're going to have kids, hopefully, and those kids, they're going to grow up with a mom, say, hey, Mom, she can teach me guns. That's beautiful experience. I think it's great. Seriously. I want to give you the floor. You have 2 minutes. If you want to pimp a little more your websites, whatever you want to do, you got the floor, okay? I'm not going to charge you, promise. Go ahead.
Well, if any ladies are interested in joining the group, it's Vegas Gun Gals on Facebook. I'd be more than welcome. You're more than welcome to come out and join. Anybody that's interested in the ACT program, you can actually look up ACT on Facebook as well, or you can email me. I'm machinegunalley@gmail.com. My website is the Train with CDA for CampbellDefenseAcademy.com. Right now, our server is down, unfortunately, so make sure that you try emailing us after Monday, so when all the repairs have been done. But you can get to me on my Gmail account, and Facebook is always open and ready, so I look forward to hearing from anybody.
Excellent.
Appreciate Luca having me on the show.
Hey, perfect. I want to look into these ACT classes, and I want to see which days you have them. I don't live, unfortunately, I don't like towns. Otherwise, I would move to Vegas, but I like the boonies where I live. But I like once in a while to come to Vegas just for the opportunities. You can do things, unfortunately, I cannot do here, like classes like yours. So I'll be in touch, and maybe I can see which days you have it. Maybe I can camp out for a couple of days, some hotel, and maybe do a class. We'll see that, okay?
Sure, you'd be more than welcome.
Thank you. All right, perfect. That was Machine Gun Allie. I think it's exciting. I'm very happy. That's the spirit of the show. Love, guns, and freedom. Let's take a break. And then we go to the final part of this hour. We'll talk a little bit what happened at this range safety officer chief. No, you need to put chief first in English. Chief range safety officer class. That, by the way, I passed like everybody else. You don't go away. Stay here. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna.
It is time. Get your Arizona Concealed Carry Permit now with Arizona Concealed Carry Permit by Zanna Enterprises, LLC. Become a more responsible and educated gun owner. Carry legally concealed in 35 states. Carry permitted in restaurants where alcohol is served. Learn where and how you can legally carry a firearm in Arizona. Learn where you can use deadly force. Where can you display your gun or not for self-defense? Learn how to deal with law enforcement while carrying a firearm. Learn how to be aware of your surroundings and how to avoid a confrontation. Buy your gun without waiting for a background check. Get your Arizona Concealed Carry Permit now. Go to www.azccw.us. Go to www.azccw.us. Free for single mothers and people with disabilities.
Here we go. We are back into the studio. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States to the FM network. And guess what am I doing? What I'm doing? No, what am I doing? What I'm doing. My gosh, my English sucks more than ever sometimes. I'm drinking Zanna coffee. By the way, my voice sounds like from the cave. I don't know what's happening to me, guys. Lately, wow. I think I must have some transformation in a beast. And I'm not kidding. I wake up at night. I mean, I don't even go to sleep at night. I'm stay up till night, normally like some sort of a werewolf. But around midnight, especially when the moon is full, I get so hungry. And, I normally have late dinner, 9 o'clock, stuff like that. I'm not really early dinner. I like eating Italian time, 8:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 is too early. Anyway, and then, of course, at 12 o'clock, normally people go to sleep, and I still get hungry. And I go back to eat real food. I don't eat chips and things like that. I got to go to smoke salmon or make a couple eggs, stuff like that. So why am I talking that? Because I'm drinking now Zanna coffee. Normally when I drink Zanna coffee, also food comes to my mind. For example, like right now. Now, what I was saying before, talking about important things. Ellie is a great lady. I really enjoy. And I'm grateful for this show to give me the opportunity to meet all these people that they're really interesting human beings, sharing their knowledge, their experience, and more important, be able that I can share them to you. That's the idea. That's the show. That's the spirit of the show. Now, what I did last Sunday, I was exactly this Chief Range Safety Officer class. And why do I even need that? I'm not really into training other range safety officers, but that's the idea. I can do that. And why I like that idea? Because if we want to really create the gun culture, and I'm not talking about gun culture as a bunch of rednecks, nothing wrong with rednecks, but I'm talking about gun culture, which means that we set the example of a standard of education, of responsibility, and safety. It all starts at the range, believe it or not. And even if you don't go to a range, let's say, you shoot in the desert, still, when you have a standard, like when you go through one of these NRA classes, even just a regular range safety officer, at least no matter where you shoot, you will never do mistakes that Yahoo out there may do. Shooting in an environment that is not safe, compromising the health and the safety of other people, you're going to have a different mindset. And, for me, I did that class. The first class I did was a few months ago, was my first class with the NRA range safety officer. I thought it was great. It was a great experience. I like it. And from there, I wanted to go deeper. That's why I did this Chief Range Safety Officer, because at that point, I know that at least if I want to, I can, let's say, qualify and certify other person out there who want to become range safety officers. And that's the way we build the foundation of a safe environment where people can shoot in a safe way, responsible way, not just, going crazy. Because this is, I'm all for freedom, but there is no way you can be, let's say, unruled. You must have very strict safety rules when it comes down to shooting, okay? This is not like something you can just go anarchist. It's different. If you want to go anarchist, you go by yourself, and you want to shoot yourself in your foot, it's your problem. But if you go in an environment that other people around you, you must be a very responsible, educated gun owner. And I think all starts at the gun ranges. That's why you need to have qualified people who understand the safety rules, and more important also how to explain them, how to enforce them if they have to. And that's why I think, these NRA classes with the range safety officer are really good. And now I'm proud to be a chief, I like the term, kind of pompous, chief range safety officer. And I can't wait to train other range safety officers. So in case you want to become a range safety officer, so you can work at ranges, or even you want to just have the knowledge, in case you want to have your private range, at least you have the knowledge. By the way, they give you also great advantages when you have to deal with insurances. Normally insurances, they give you a great deal of discount in their premiums when you are certified by the NRA as a range safety officer. It makes sense. So I'm here just to let you know, in case it's another opportunity I'd like to share with you. Now, talking about other things that are already happening, next Sunday, you know very well what's happening. Sunday the 26th, 2/6, in Havasu, Lake Havasu, we have another CCW, Arizona CCW class. Yes, pretty exciting. I like to see people responding. And remember, I really hope that our Congress, with our president, will pass the law that, like you have now a driver license, you can drive, doesn't matter where you're from, in all 50 states. We should have the right to also be able, if you're a law-abiding person and you have a CCW in one state, concealed carry permit, you should be able to carry the gun all 50 states. So I pray that's gonna pass. That's I really do. Meanwhile, regardless, you have a lot of benefits if you get an Arizona CCW. And I invite you, if you want to come, there are two ways you can do. First of all, go to www.azccw.us, or just go to Havasu Guns. Havasu Guns is going to be the place where we're going to have this class. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be your instructor. So I'm going to be happy to see you. And I want to also, let me give you the Havasu Guns website, or at least the phone number, because I think it's easy if you go straight to them, call them, and reserve. We have limited seats. So that's an exciting thing. The 26th, we have the great opportunity to enjoy one of my Arizona CCW classes, havasuguns.com. I think if I got it right, let's see. Meanwhile, I'm drinking my Zanna coffee. I really like it. This is my 5th coffee today. If I don't have a heart attack, man, this is amazing. Seriously. Everybody say, be slow with coffee. More I drink coffee, better I feel. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be my last few words. Famous words. Okay. Havasu Guns. If you need to find out where they are, you go to havasuguns.com, 2115 McCulloch Boulevard, Suite 1. Call them. Please take pen and paper, 928-302-1991. 928-302-1991. This Sunday, the 26th of February at 10 o'clock, we have one of these beautiful Arizona CCW classes that I will teach. And you will see the program, the curriculum. Go to azccw.us, see how much you get. I go way beyond, probably 1 to 5, I give 6. I give you 6, more than I can, more than I want. No, I want to give you even more than that. But the point, I want to be sure that you are at least, you know what you do not know, and you will find a way to continue your education. We want to have law-abiding gun owners that are an asset, not a liability. It's beyond just shooting. Is also knowing the laws, knowing everything you can, Anyway, so that's very important. Now, a great opportunity for free, and I like the word free because, it's free for you guys, but somebody pays. And that's fine because it's called sponsorship. This is not the government that they say it's free and somebody else is forced to pay with a gun pointed at their head. No, this is an act of love, free will. And also capitalism means, somebody sponsoring something so they have some return. And guess who is sponsoring here right now? It's me, Zanna Enterprises. Exactly, Zanna Firearms Training will sponsor this Saturday, write it down, Saturday the 25th to 5 of February, a free gun safety class in Golden Valley at the Mohave Sportsman Club. People say, I know safety class. I know. Every time I go around, they know everything. I've been shooting for 50 years. I know. And then last time I checked, he was muzzling the hell out of me. And he was keeping that finger on the trigger. And he was doing things that, oh my God, I wanted to run. There are some people out there, I tell you, I can teach you everything. But one thing I'm not able to teach, and nobody can. It's called attitude. If you know it all, if you're a big mouth, pompous, jackass, just stay out of my face. Seriously. Because I always say, I'm here to learn. No matter how many qualification I may have, no matter how many certificate and whatever, there is always something to learn. Even the most professional shooter out there, even the competition shooter, there is always something he or she can learn. That's the way you become the best. That's why you always need to be yourself open. When you go out to these people, then normally they have this complex, really of, I don't know what type of complex, a terrible complex. The complex of A. I don't want to just leave it like arrogance. I didn't want to go to the other word. A as arrogance. Or the arrogant complex. There is nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is stay away. So I did this class because I first of all want to try to reach out with a free gun safety class. People that are, hey, I don't know. I just bought my first gun. I would like to know. And there are also people that they say, you know what? Yes, I have a lot of guns. I've been shooting all my life, but let me listen to this idiot of Zanna that is been spending time and money and, waking up 4 o'clock in the morning to go to, faraway places to take classes with the NRA and certificate and doing test after test, just because let's see what he had to say to us. The beautiful thing that when you come to my free gun safety class, as you can hear from the name, it's free. So don't worry about your money back. You're not going to get it because you don't give me any money. It's free. Let me tell you the curriculum, because people think, oh, okay, I know this stuff. I can read it in 3 words. No, we go deeper. As usually, when I do things, I go all the way. Not because it's free, I'm going to give you a sloppy little class. I will give you the best. You're going to come back home and say, wow, how much I didn't know, or how much more I can learn. So anyway, the free gun safety class will start, as I said, this Saturday, write it down, in exactly Golden Valley at the 7 miles range, or called also Mohave Sportsman Club, at 12 o'clock sharp. If you want to come, you have to go to the range office, you check in, and you tell them, I have to go to do the free gun safety class with Zanna. So they don't charge you. It's free. You just sign in, you go to this beautiful meeting room that we have available, and we will start the class at 12 sharp. Okay? Now, let me tell you the curriculum. Well, let me finish this coffee, otherwise it's getting cold. 1 sec. By the way, go to zannacoffee.com because we really need your help, okay? You're going to get great organic coffee, plus we can keep this show free. Okay, curriculum. First of all, we go with, of course, the gun safety rules. People say, I know. Guess what? I don't want to just, I want you that you somehow use them. We will do the examples with no exceptions, because sometimes you can know things in your mind. Doesn't mean that, I'm by myself, I'm not going to do it. Oh, just this time. No, you're going to use them every time. You will follow those rules. And we will go through now. One more time. Then, point 2. Shooting range rules and verbal commands. Sometimes you go to a range. And I tell you, there is nothing wrong to be ignorant, because I'm ignorant too many things I don't know. We can fix that. Sometimes the range, they give you a flyer with some basic explanation. Sometimes they don't even give you anything unless you ask. My goal is to give you at least the basic knowledge, what you should know, what you should do when you go to any gun range. And right now, I can tell you I'm an expert, yes. At least, not just a range safety officer, even with the extra deeper qualification of chief range safety officer, I can be a little bit, let's say, arrogant to say I'm a little bit of an expert. Not much, but a little bit. At least I can tell you a little more than the average person. And please, I don't want to show off this one. I just want to tell you this because I really love you. I really want you to go to a range. You don't feel like a jackass with your wife when the range master is going to kick you out because you are maybe doing some very terrible things. I want to be sure that you have fun, you're safe, And I want to help you out because I want you to stay at the range. I want you to keep shooting, having fun. That's my goal. And you become a better gun owner, more proficient, and maybe one day you may save my life on the street. That's why I'm doing this, guys. Okay? Seriously. So, we will talk about shooting range rules and verbal commands. Then we will talk about point 3, gun stoppages, gun malfunctions, 2 different things, and ammunition malfunctions. For example, you know the difference between a gun stoppage and a gun malfunction. I would like to know. This is very important because it's very important matter when it comes down to safety. Then, point 4, how to safely store any firearm. And I say any, not just the handgun. How to safely carry any firearm. Okay? That's very important. How to safely transport any firearm. Believe it or not, you gotta transport the firearm. Some states like Arizona is pretty, loose. But some other states, maybe it's not that loose. And still, even if you're transporting a firearm in a state like Arizona, that pretty much you can transport anything loaded with even round in the chamber, you still want to follow some basic, important safety rules. Number 7, how to safely handle any firearm. Yes, believe it or not, a lot of people still, you go to gun shops, you go to gun show, they're pros, people that pretty much make their living with guns. I don't say everybody, but many of them. Oh my God. Just let's put it this way. Then, point 8, how to safely unload and load any firearm. Think about it. You don't need to have a gun. Maybe you hate guns. That's fine. I don't care. Well, I can actually leave my guns away alone. But my point is, you may find one day a gun in a place that's supposed not to be. Let's say at the school. And you don't like guns, that's fine. You don't have any gun, that's fine. But still, you must be able to handle the gun till somebody comes to take care of the gun. You don't want the gun maybe going to the, some children hands, okay? So I will teach you how to safely unload and load. You don't want to load, that's fine, but at least unload and handle that firearm safely. Then, of course, we go to another point for people that are gun owners, how to safely clean any firearm. And when I say safely, there are some basic important things to talk about it. Point 10, basic hygiene while handling and shooting any firearm. And point 11, we will focus, of course, on handguns. I will bring revolvers and semi-automatic so we can see the difference. Shotguns, rifles, bolt action, and semi-auto. It's going to be a great class, seriously. Then we have also questions and answers, because it's not going to be just me talking. I want you. Maybe you have some questions I didn't somehow plan to give you answers. So I want your input. We're going to go at least a couple hours, maybe even 3 if I feel like it. Guess what? I love to do this. You see? I'm doing it for free, but I enjoy doing it. Okay? This is my form of love. Some people go to churches, some people go to, hospitals. I go to the gun range and spread the gospel. That's what I do. So anyway, I want you there if you want to come, of course. And as I said, it's going to be Saturday the 25th at the Mohave Sportsman Club in Golden Valley. And let me tell you exactly what it is. If you go to Golden Valley, Crossroad, Shina Ramp, and Route 66, it's called also Ottman Highway. On the way to Ottman, we're talking about after probably this, I think the 5th mile, something like that. But just after the FedEx hub, you will find that you can see the shooting range. Can't miss it. But be sure that you come there at 12. Don't be late, okay? So now I want to talk a little bit about exactly into details the safety class. Because maybe you say, you know what, Luca, I cannot come there, but give me something, and I'll give you something, I want to give you the best I can, even this is just a radio show, of course. Let's start from the basic, the foundation. Basic firearm safety. We go directly from the NRA, and I mix them up a little bit with some of my stuff. Rule number one, you can start memorizing it with me. Even if you don't have a gun, you're driving, I don't care. Maybe your boyfriend has a gun. Maybe you can teach him something. You, lady, you could. Always treat every gun as if it is loaded. Oh, but it's unloaded, man. No, you don't play with a gun. even if you triple check that is unloaded, you think and you consider the gun that it is loaded. It is not a toy, nothing to prank around, nothing to have fun, nothing to show off. It is always a loaded weapon. That's fundamental, because I think really this is something so important that sometimes people think, I check the gun, it's empty. Now I can think that it's unloaded. No, it's always loaded. So when you think that it's always loaded, you will treat it with respect, okay? You will not do the second important thing that you must always do, and it is always keep the muzzle of your gun in a safe direction. And what means a safe direction? Let's start for sure. It's not pointed at me or point at yourself or point at your testicles or point at your toe or foot. Safe direction means that for, let's say by negligent, because there is no accident here, okay? The gun doesn't go off on its own. Somebody must squeeze the trigger, okay? So let's say for negligence discharge happens, at least the muzzle is not going to be pointed at anything that you want to destroy. Simple as that. That's very important. So we go number one, every gun is always loaded, period, even if it's not. Number two, you keep always the muzzle of the gun in a safe direction. Number three, that's very important. I see that failing many big times out there. Always keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to fire. That means when you're not on target, your finger, it is not on the trigger. And I mean, it doesn't even need to stay close to the trigger. It needs to be really as high as possible, touching one of these referral point on your slide. And every gun is a different, point. I call it the magic point, But the point for sure is stays away from your trigger. So always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Now, number four, always be sure of your target and what is in line with your target. Because, at the range still, even at the range, for sure in real life it's even more dangerous, but even at the range, you always want to be sure maybe somebody's behind that target. Maybe somebody's still, working around, taping that target. So you always double check. For sure, and also more in real life, especially when you do the CCW classes with me, we will go through even deeper to understand exactly that the real life environment, it's a fluid environment. It's not like at the range that you have just, one safe area and you can shoot down range and nobody's supposed to jump between you and the target. Now, in the real life, somebody may be behind your opponent and you may miss or you may over penetrate. And at that point, what if that happens? Or maybe somebody's going to walk between. So that's very important. Always be sure of your target and what's in line with your target. And also be sure of what you're shooting at. You don't shoot in the dark. You always must identify your target. Always. Okay? So this just right there, if you would, let's say, respect and you would use these safety rules, you would become already, every time, not just you know him somehow and then one day you remember, one day no. You always do it. Use it. Now, I want to go even more important safety considerations. Normally I don't talk this in many classes, but I do. If your gun falls, let's say you have a gun, and sometimes, it can happen. Maybe your hands are wet, sweating, whatever. If the gun falls out of your hand, you let it fall on the ground. Let me say again, you let it fall on the ground. Yeah, but it's my $2,000 Kimber. I don't care. If that's the gun that you chose, you live with that. Your life or the life of an innocent person is more important than your fancy gun. If you're so concerned that the gun may scratch, buy another gun. Buy a Glock like I do. I don't care. I care, but I'm not going to cry like, oh my God, you scratch my little $2,000 gun. That's not the point. If you cannot afford a gun like that, buy something else. But the point is why I'm saying that. I don't want to be harsh on your gun. I think, I understand that. But at the same time, your life is more important. If you try to reach for your gun when it's falling off your hand, it may be really possible that you're going to somehow find out with your muzzle pointing at yourself or somebody else, and you're going to, I call it by negligence, squeeze that trigger. It happens. It happened. So please, if the gun falls out of your hands, let it fall. Number 2, when you insert your gun into your holster, always do it slowly. Believe it or not, that's one of the most dangerous parts of handling a gun. Presentation and reholstering the gun, the two very important things. Because, when you reholster the gun, one second. When you reholster the gun, first of all, your finger, scary things. I see always these fingers. Many people, they don't get training or just stubborn. Still on the trigger. That's so terrible. Right there, big violation. Drive practice. No more ammo in that gun till we do it right. But then also very important is you have to think that maybe you have some garments, one part of your outfits or whatever, maybe somehow sticking out, and the trigger may get stuck into it. Terrible. So very important, when you insert your handgun into your holster, always do it slowly. Of course, point number 3, if you go to a range or every time you shoot somewhere for training purposes, always use or wear ears and eye protections. Now, in real life, as I said in my CCW classes, you're not going to walk around in town with a pair of electronic mufflers. You're going to probably not even have the time, even if you had them on YouTube, wear them. But for practice and training, you have to do this. Don't forget eyeglasses, always. Point number 4, never use drugs or alcohol before or during shooting firearm. And when I say drugs, every drugs. I had a prescription, I don't care. That drugs, even the one prescription, can really create big drama, dizziness, and you're not going to be 100%. You must be 100%, okay? That's the point. If you want to take an aspirin, probably it's not a big deal, but if anything that can create dizziness or sense of disorientation, stay away. And that, of course, works also for any other drugs, okay? Marijuana included. Even I'm a big supporter of legalization. When you go to the range, you keep your stuff at home. You do it at home, okay? Don't do it anything close to a range, period. Okay, so point number 5. When somebody gives you a firearm or you pick one, always check the condition of the firearm starting from the chamber. This is something normally they don't really share much. Even at the NRA, they don't talk much. But I like this part, is very important. It is your responsibility to check the status of your gun. But he checked it for me. I saw it. He checked the gun just a few seconds in front of me. I don't care. I recheck it. Maybe he missed it. Maybe I thought that I saw that gun is empty. Maybe I'm not sure. For sure, I need to double check. So I start from the chamber, because sometimes people think, hey, I remove the magazine and then you forget the chamber. No, I start from the chamber, check. Okay. There is anything? No, it's clear. Great. Then I remove the magazine, and then I check again the chamber twice. Believe it or not, this is not paranoia. This is be really safe. Bad things happen to people that they thought they have the gun empty or unloaded, but they forgot it was around in the chamber. So that's why it's so important. Now, 6. Be sure you're using the right ammunition for that particular firearm. Believe it or not, there are some people out there that they just bought their gun and maybe they found some ammunition around the house that fit. Maybe somebody told them, yeah, this is the right ammo, but they don't double check. You must double check. Some guns like, Glock 17 and Glock 22, 40 and 9, the magazine will fit. The cartridge will fit that magazine. Scary. If you put like 9mm in a 40, it's not going to function correctly, but it's not going to somehow completely be catastrophic. You're going to realize something's wrong. But think about if you squeeze a 40, try to jam it through a 9, that you will see probably not going to fit. It's going to be a disaster anyway. So check. How we check that? Very simple. First of all, you check your handgun. How? You start from your, let's say you have a manual book, go with that. Number 2, on the barrel, on the slide, you will see every handgun has the caliber. Okay? That's very important. So you double check. Your most important thing, as I said, you start with your gun. And then, of course, if you have a manual book. Then you want to check the box of the ammunition. Normally on the box, they say very well, clearly. And then you triple check or double check on the cartridge, on the casing. It tells you again the caliber. This is something very important, okay? Now, point number 7, be sure of the condition of the firearm before shooting it. Let's say you're buying a gun used. Let's say you got some sort of a very old gun that you found maybe at your grandfather's place, whatever. You need to know that really is in working condition, because a gun that doesn't work, it is not just something that may not function. It may explode on your face, or something that very dramatic may happen. So you want to be sure at least somebody who knows more than you goes through all to the parts to be sure there are no any type of structural damages, and that the gun can perform correctly. That's very important. Now, be sure also that you know how to use that firearm. Believe it or not, there are some people out there that just bought the latest handgun, probably, this double action, single action, decocking gun that you need probably, to go to some sort of university to understand how it works. And don't get me wrong, it's not that difficult. But, the first time, if you don't know what you're doing, can be very dangerous. So be sure that you know how to operate a gun. There is no shame to say, hey, excuse me, neighbor or friend, or even to the range master, can you please help me out? Seriously. Because this is not something like you make a mistake and you're just going to, get dirty. No, this could really be something very dangerous. So remember, you're liable civilly and criminally for every bullet coming out of the barrel of your gun. Exactly. There are no accidents. There is no accidental discharge, but only negligent discharges. This is very important. This is just a little first part. Not even page 1. I will continue next time with the shooting range rules and verbal commands. Why am I doing this? Because I really believe this hour that we have on the show is something we can use to become better gun owners. And I'm still here learning. I didn't say, oh my God, I know it all. No, I'm always learning. There is always something to learn. Okay, so my point is this one. Right now, this is the time to use this opportunity. Because next time, your knowledge may save somebody else's life. May save your life. And remember, everybody's looking at us. The anti-guns freaks, they're always staring at us. So we got to set the example. Don't go away. Ready for hour number 3. Incredible interviews. You're going to get shocked. Great topics. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna.
You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on United States.FM Network.